this video is going to be all about how to print out your progress reports. The first thing you want to do once you have your grade book open to the class you want to print for is to make sure that your grade book is maximized, because without maximizing, a lot of times this little reports tab just doesn't pop up. So once you've got that, go ahead and click into reports. The one that we need for today is the individual student report. So if you click on that little gray arrow, you'll get this menu to pop up. And we are going to leave all of the settings exactly the way they are, except for the date range. The date range, we're going to choose whichever grading period we happen to be in. So for this one, I'm going to choose T1. Then we can go over into the layout section, which gives us a little bit more customization as far as what we put on the progress report. We do have this option to include a note at the top or bottom or both of the progress report, and that just gives us a little bit of a way to communicate some of those hard deadlines with students and parents. So the one I always did, once I printed out a progress report, I would give my students a definite deadline for any of the work that was included on that progress report, because it really doesn't do any of us any good if we have lots of papers coming in at the very last minute in the grading period, things that they haven't done since the first week of school. So if we put in a line like this where it just tells them everything has to be turned in by such and such a date, it just cuts down a lot of the argument and a lot of the last minute paperwork that you have to do at the end of that 6 weeks. The other thing that you can use this for is to include any contact information that you have if you want parents to reach out to you if they have concerns, or whatever other information that you want to share with them. And then the last thing that you can do, if you want kids to bring back a signed copy of the progress report, you can always include a signature line to make that a little easier, and I'm going to go ahead and include that. One other thing that I will mention back on the criteria section is these little check marks here. The categories check mark, let's say that you're one of those teachers that have a lot of grades and you're spilling over onto a second page. If you need to save space, the best way to do it is to uncheck the categories. I'm going to leave it checked here so that we can look at and see what it looks like, but this category section is going to be one way to kind of save a little bit of space on the individual pages. So once you have it set up the way you want it, we're going to click Run Report, and we'll just open it up. And on here you can see my note at the top and my note at the bottom along with the signature line. So that's what all of those are going to look like on your progress report. The other thing is the category summary. So this part right here, it just kind of clumps together all of your learning activities, unit assessment, and independent practice to make it a little bit more clear, where a student is struggling or where they're doing really well with their individual chunks of class grades. So it's not something that's absolutely vital, because they are going to have all of their individual grades listed up here along with their final grade. So that is what it's going to look like. And after, if it looks good to you, then go ahead and just print them like you would anything else. The only thing is, if possible, go ahead and print 2 to a page just to cut down on the amount of paper. And then make sure to save a copy for yourself digitally so that you have something to go back to in case there's ever any questions at the end of the semester about, did they know that they had this assignment missing, or other questions like that that tend to pop up at the end of a grading period or at the end of a semester. And just so that you have the record saying, yes, they, it was on their progress report, they didn't turn in their Unit 2 vocab quiz, or they never took it, so they knew that that was a problem, and that way it just kind of saves everybody a little bit of headache. So that is progress reports. Thank you very much for watching.